hand is pretty terrible, but it does more than 5 cards would. Oh, that does not bode well for me. I have to think about this. It's possible I should have just gone to 5. Like, this basically isn't a spell. The fact that he has Helix in his deck most likely is a big problem. Ugh. This is not gonna go well. Do do do. Gonna lose game 2 to Core Firewalker 2. Do do do. As you can tell, I'm not very excited about where this deck is going. This card is interesting. Okay. I think I'm supposed to play the Eidolon. Um, but I'm also kind of wondering if I even have the time to do that. Not fetching because I can't afford to take damage with the Eidolon in play. Yeah. If this was a burn spell, I'd be happier. Significantly. I'm just gonna keep looking at this not a combo. I think that like one of these cards probably has to go is the issue. I don't know if you can have both. Okay, he has opted to play another creature and take 2 damage to do so. Great. What do you got? Okay, so there's a bit of a thought process here. So I'm going to take 4. At the least, I take 4, go to 11. Kind of like this block. So that block kills the Pyro. But this block, so I take 5. He goes to 10. I have to think about this. No, I think I want to block the Pyro here. Like, no block is clearly wrong, because he just cast the probe that I know he has from the Delver. Block here, he goes to 10 and Thought Scours, and I likely die next turn. Block here, if he has the Thought Scour, I go to 10, he gets a guy. Still pretty close to dead next turn. Maybe do this block, and if he doesn't have it, that's the best possible scenario. Yeah, he did have it. So he goes to 10. I don't think I can afford a mutagenic here. How do I kill my opponent this game? 6, 7, 8. Dead to a bolt. I think I just have to play a tapped land and hope to draw another bolt effect. And that he has nothing. Him having nothing is a very big part of this plan. Yeah, his clock was a little more impressive than mine on the play. Not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. Dead to any burn spell here. Though I guess I probably was dead to any burn spell anyways. Yeah, because like Force Bolt does 2 to me, pumps the Swiss Spear once, Probe pumps the Swiss Spear once, and he already has 6 power in play, so. Actually, is the Elemental, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Force Bolt would have just killed me anyways. Actually get a turn here. And I guess, so I'm thinking like, I didn't have the 2 life to maneuver white land into play, which would have given me an additional out of. Yes, I could draw Boros Charm next turn if I had a white land in play. Sequencing on this should not matter. I am defeated. Yeah, I don't think there was no way to play my cards differently to deal an extra damage, I don't think. I'm just going to assume I do want Geist here, I think. Because it rewards me for being able to burn spells creatures, and I do want Searing Blaze. I don't want Combust. I don't really want Skullcrack. And I'm not like even sold I want Mutagenic Growth here. This card is looking really bad to me. I'm going to go to Boros Charm because it doesn't interact with this creature, which is my game plan. This card's really good here. I like Lava Spike over Boros Charm because it doesn't force me into fetching colored mana too. So maybe this, leaving like a couple gross. Oh, I should have. Nah, that was a mistake. I wanted like 1 more growth because I forgot I was boarding the Geist. Yeah, that was a mistake. And maybe I should have cut Swiss Spears for the Geist or something. Trying to figure out what the creature line to draw is. Sure. It's kind of a 6-card hand, but one of those 6 is Treasure Cruise, so I'm okay with it. deck's kind of awkward in that the second Treasure Cruise doesn't really do anything. Just like, I mean, Jerry T's False Tempo article kind of talks about like how Treasure Cruise is really like, not really Treasure Cruise, but like the deck that you'd want to be Treasure Cruising with wants to be able to play a long game. Same with Carson Cotter wrote about Miracle Grow a while back. It's like the same concept of like you want to be able to play a game where multiple Treasure Cruises matters because 2 Treasure Cruises is so good, and this deck just really can't. So I think that might be like a fundamental flaw of what it does. This deck was probably also one of the decks hurt the most by the Deathrite ban, actually. As weird as it sounds, that card was so good in this deck. I'm actually just going to fetch a basic here. I'm willing to draw a white spell and get punished, I think. As opposed to taking the 2 life for a white spell I don't have when I only have 6. Especially when I'm like already very far ahead with this Eidolon. God, these Treasure Cruises are so bad. Oh my gosh. I should cut one of these if I'm just boarding in creatures. Sure. 2 damage to my opponent. A+. Wow. That is very bad for my opponent. Like, very, very bad. Jeez. Searing Blaze is really good against this guy. Yeah, I think I should shave a Treasure Cruise post board. Sure. Yeah, I think the Eidolon is willing to trade for 2 Delvers. Especially because if he like doesn't block and then flips, the Eidolon is actually a liability. So I just may as well give him the chance to like have to make that decision. When your cards don't just draw more cantrips, it's really, really hard to fuel Treasure Cruise. Like, that's like a big part of how that card works, is that you get to like cantrip into cantrips in some decks with it. I actually should have attacked him first with the Eidolon and made him make it. Oh, punished for my decision like 3 turns ago. Oops. That said, my opponent is going to struggle very hard to get out of this position. I think I take the damage here. I think I actually lead on Geist and bait whatever counter he has and then maybe play around Spell Pierce later. Or like Snap Pierce would actually be the thing I'm afraid of here. Because he is representing that. Oh boy. I guess I get Electrolyte. Yep. I guessed correct. Yeah, this deck I can already tell is not where I want to be, but I will keep playing it in the interest of seeing what parts of it are good. Because, like, uh, I think that there might be, like, a pure burn deck that's good. I think that this deck is straying too far away from it. I think that there might be a burn heavy Delver deck that's good, and this deck is straying too far away from it. I don't really want mutagenic growth in my deck. I want nothing to do with that card. I'm just gonna submit. I don't even want to. I even said I should board out Treasure Cruise, and I just don't want to. Yeah, sounds sweet. Really hope he doesn't play that card. Yeah, Core Firewalker dead. Immediately dead. So this is like a pretty interesting position. I think the right play is actually Foothills pass and not run my Swiss Spear right into his bolt. If he has a bolt, it doesn't change anything about my Swiss Spear decision. So I think I'd rather just run it out then. Like, he can bolt. Like, in theory, could have gotten in one more damage if his next turn plays Pyromancer, but I'm not going to lean on that. I get punished by, like, Forked Bolt. But that's fine. Hopefully he has no interaction and learns the lesson that everyone learns about not interacting with a Spurn deck. If you don't kill their guy on turn 1, you typically lose. Or turn 1-ish. Oh, boy. He is in for a world of misery. I think this hand wants to kill that Swiss Spear. The exchange favors... It doesn't really favor me, but I get to play into it with Treasure Cruises. And keeping his guys off the board with Geist is really big. Not only is it a bit slower, but it is, like, him not having blockers is important. Also, let's take a look at what he did with that Visions. Top. Oh, God. That's bad. Oh, no attacks? Get a white land. Because I cast the first spell that I would like to cast. If he plays Mutagenic Growth, I'm going to be impressed. That was also a mistake. Why did I do that? I should have... Why didn't I just... I'm not thinking tonight. I should have just attacked. If he blocks, I bolt him. I get an additional damage that way. So I missed a damage. This is probably Pyro into... Oh. It's a thing people do these days? Ugh. Okay. That's life. I think I just want to slam the Geist here. Man, this Geist aggro deck is way better than my burn deck. And the next turn, I get to protect Geist in several ways. Like, I get to Bolt a blocker, I get to Boros Charm. Maybe I should have traded the Swiss Spear for a guy so that bolting a blocker and Boros Charm are both guaranteed protection for the Geist. This board state makes me wish that I could play Volcanic Fallout or a similar card. But you really can't with Geist. What? What is this? Wow. This guy really does not want to lose to burn. Well, that definitely has to happen. It's actually interesting that I'm like reasonably in this game. I want to leave back this guy to discourage attacks. I'm probably going to get like Snapcaster Rest for the Weird or something really stupid. Man, I was hoping he would only block with 3. Which one's worse? Probably leave him with a mix of tokens. I don't think it really matters too much. Wait, what? I was not F6'd. That's bad. Do I not have a stop? Wow. That stop not being there just cost me the game. Let's figure out a way out of this. I think it involves casting this Eidolon here. Sweet. 2 damage from Eidolon. Is it sad that I'm kind of hoping I draw a fetch land so I can play around Spell Pierce? It's definitely pretty pathetic. He's gained 14 life this game? That's so rude. 14. The rest of the weird also makes no sense compared to the other options in my mind, though. I like Timely or whatever. Just doesn't make sense. That's actually okay. Guess I do need repeatable damage sources if I'm going to kill him. Even if it does completely suck that he gets to draw potential cards off of it here. This card used to be like a 2/2 haste with a... Not a drawback. It used to be telepathy. They're all the same, right? Double or indestructible is definitely better. I actually probably shouldn't have cast the Goblin Guide so I could play around Spell Pierce here. It's pretty messed up. Okay. That's also perfectly fine with me. Because now this happens to him. Which may or may not be good enough. That's a pretty good set of cards to draw. Depending on what he does, it might be enough to deal the full amount. If he cruises, I'm pretty dead, and if he timelies, I'm not in good shape. But those cards can probably do... Let's see, immediately I get in 9 next turn? That's a lot. Sure. Interesting. He's probably just going to gain 8. I don't think that's enough. It's kind of cool that he doesn't get to timely here just because of the way life turtles are. Man, I wish I had Deathrite Shaman so he couldn't do this to me. He's also running pretty low on time. He'll be able to finish, but... Possible if I extended one of those games, I would have been able to time him out. Sure. So I want to do that. And then this. Then squad. Pretty sure I have to squad here. Magma Spray, sure. I think after I revealed the Magma Spray, I was actually supposed to kill the Snapcaster, but it's unfortunately a mistake on my part. It's a pretty reasonable attack, even if this is only for 1. Okay, so I'm just going to lose a guy. Sweet, and he has nothing. Okay. Sequencing kind of sucks for me, but... whatever. Like, I want to get the Eidolon into play now to apply the most pressure and give him the least amount of time out of this. But at the same time, I take 2 off the Rift Bolt, which I think 12 versus 10 is a bit scary. Not super scary. If you drew Snapcaster, I'll be marginally displeased. Actually holding this so that I can draw a Searing Blaze, I think, is correct. I don't think it is, actually, because I'd rather draw a Cruise into... Oh, sure. What's this targeting? Eidolon? Sure. Yeah, it's like even on how many cruises and blazes I have, right? Used one of each. I think cruise into Geist is more important than the Searing Blaze immediately having the right effect. Yeah, especially because I can hold a Blaze and like he doesn't necessarily have to have it. Don't see a need to cast this land. I'd rather save the 1 life, staying at 10, which is 3 bolts, instead of going lower. Sure, you have Pyro. I will gladly trade if you let me. Alternatively, this immediately puts him to 3, which is a very scary life total for him to be at. Don't cast Timely. Whatever you do. I guess he doesn't get 3 guys if he casts Timely because of the Pyro. But the life alone is probably enough to kill me. Because obviously the first, you know, he's actually gained 22 this game. 6, 8, 8. Jeez. Wait till after combat to cast the Geist for several reasons. The biggest one being that why would I ever run my Geist into him making a token? Vomit. Oh my gosh. 26 life? 26! Does he know how much 26 is? Playing this in case he has Mana Leak or something. My opponent has gained 26 life. And he's at 4. I've dealt 2 full life totals to him this game. Jeez. This, like, Geistburn Treasure Cruise thing is nice when it works. I think the cards in the deck are a little sketchy, but it's nice. He's also on to 159 to kill me here. Though 10 life is, like, pretty close to dead. Yeah. Good. I would have drawn a bolt anyways. Man. 46.